Anyway, I'm going to talk about the NBA. Kooky Kyrie Irving's out. Kooky Kyrie Irving, who has, the man is sick. Watching him play at times is like, you're just like, this guy's sick. I've discussed Kooky Kyrie. Talk about a guy who loves Palestine. This guy loves Palestine. Totally uninformed. But Kooky Kyrie, unfortunately, is out for the rest of the season, and I never want any athlete to be injured. But the Dallas Mavericks, it has just been one nightmare after another nightmare. And at what point do they just submit? Because right now they're without Anthony Davis. It was just announced that Kooky Kyrie Irving has a torn ACL, and it has just been their whole team is decimated, and they ain't making the playoffs. I bet you Anthony Davis sits out the rest of the season, and I know he's probably going, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what have I done? But the NBA in general is coming down to the stretch. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, also Canadian. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, also a Canadian. And the OKC Thunder, they are tightening up the ship. And Shai Gilgeous dropped 50 again. That's the fourth time this season that he's dropped 50 points. And they're healthy. They're young, inexperienced. They are a little bit inexperienced in the playoffs as a unit, and that counts. Trust me, that counts. It always counts. The Knicks, you got to go through the fire. You have to go through the fire. But Shai Gilgeous and them, they're looking tough. And he's got 300 more points than anyone else in the NBA this season. He's the MVP. Shai Gilgeous from Canada. Has there ever been another MVP from Canada? Cavs are looking good. The Celtics are looking good. The Cavs came back to beat the Celtics the other night. They trailed them by 20 points. But the NBA is fantastic. The Knicks have looked a lot better. And the Knicks, listen, if this Mitchell Robinson can stay in the pocket, if this Mitchell Robinson can stay healthy, because now it's a battle of nutrition and attrition. Is it nutrition and attrition? It's a battle of attrition. It's not about what you eat, not nutrition, attrition. Is it a battle of attrition or nutrition? What is the word? Attrition? What? Attrition. Not nutrition or attrition, attrition. The Knicks are looking good. And shockingly, the Lakers are surging. Luka and LeBron and Luka, respectfully. They're the number 2 seed right now, which is crazy. And I know Luka is probably just going, ha, 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 Dallas. Not that he wants anybody to be hurt, but ha, you dumped me in the middle of the season without any heads up, without any explanation. There still hasn't been an explanation. Now they're saying that Luka likes hookah, Luka, and beer. Crazy. Trying to do a smear campaign against the guy. He's looking pretty skinny now. Ain't he, Nico? Looking pretty skinny now, isn't he, Jason Kidd? Looking real good right now. You might have done this guy a favor. I'm sure he's probably going, yo, the sun is nice out here. They got good sushi all over the place in LA. Cold plunges. I'm chilling with LeBron. Probably going to get himself a sick crib in Bel Air. Hookah Luka, a.k.a. Bazooka Luka. Who's laughing now? Nico Collins or Nico, whatever the your name is. The Suns are coming apart, which I love it. I love it. KD, you're a great individual player, but everything around you is like a mess. You're like one of those video games where everything's falling and you're shooting, making jump shots, but you never fix what's around you. You never fix what's around. Great individual performer. You care, you don't care. You want things to work out. You don't want to work out. but it's the traveling circus of Kevin Durant. It is now stopped in Phoenix. You should have went to Golden State. Should have went back to Golden State. Phoenix is falling apart at the seams. Shockingly, the Blazers, the Portland Trail Blazers, who no one mentions, they might sneak their way into the play-in. Shout out to my man Chauncey Billups, friend of the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. Good guy. Good, solid, nice. I've always liked Chauncey, done some things with Chauncey, Big Three with Chauncey, broke bread with Chauncey. Of course, he's been on the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. He's just good people. And the Pistons, the Detroit Pistons, Detroit basketball and the Detroit Pistons are surging. Cade Cunningham and the Pistons are coming at you. But you know I had to get you. The Nuggets, they need to get healthy. The Rockets, they're banged up. And like I said, the Celtics are still the Celtics, but without Drew Holiday, that's a hole that needs to be plugged. They need to plug that hole. No Diddy. And Joel Embiid, since the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast, they shut it down, and the Sixers are in tank mode, and I don't know how that's going to get fixed. Big threes do not work anymore. You're not the Miami Heat. That shit ain't going to work, okay? Unless you're like Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, in their prime, with Draymond Green in their prime, that big three, when you're 30-something years old, that is done. The Pacers, the Bucks, the Heat, it's all happening. It's all happening in the NBA, and this is when the basketball gets good. This is when the defense starts to tighten up. This is when the big dogs separate themselves from the pack. The NBA is and always will be fantastic, despite all the crying, complaining that I do, despite all the crying, complaining that the players do, despite all of it. When the playoffs start, this is when it gets exciting, and we're almost there. Anyway, I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast is here. Make sure you subscribe, rate, review. Subscribe, rate, review, and leave a comment. Tell a friend to tell a friend about the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast.